So what I want to talk to you about today is the resilience of plants. Well, here I am again. Yeah, that thing about making videos maybe about 3 days a week, let's figure that as an average, because sometimes I'm going to make a video, maybe for a couple weeks running, I will, make a video every day, and then for a couple weeks I'll do 1 or 2 videos a week. So yeah, figure that on average. But I wanted to start this video out by saying once again, thank you for your sweet comments on my last video. Well, and I said, well, so much for the long hiatus from YouTube. Yes, thank you for your encouragement. I'm making this video because we had 3.3 inches of rain last night, and I've actually been, for the last couple of years, I've thought about doing this kind of video where I talk about what I'm about to talk about, and that is, well, okay, so we had 3.3 inches of rain, which means we had thunderstorms, generally speaking, when you get that much rain in a 8-10 hour period. Thunderstorms, and yes, we were having what I would call gale-force winds at around 10 o'clock last night. The thunder woke me up and I heard something. I thought it was rain. I thought it was the rain coming down so hard. That's what was making all the noise. No, I came out and I shined or shone, I don't know, the flashlight out the window, and yes, it was raining pretty hard, but not nearly as hard as I thought. But the wind was blowing like not quite hurricane force, but really strong. And whenever that happens, so what happened last night happened, the same thing happened. Whenever that happens, when I wake up in the middle of the night and I've got things growing in the garden, especially tall things, trellis things, I have trouble getting back to sleep because I lie there imagining how everything's getting ripped apart and torn down, not able to tolerate these strong gusts. So what I want to talk to you about today is the resilience of plants. So I'm going to take you into the garden, and what I was really worried about were the peas. Those are the only things I have trellised right now. Hey, I'm walking by the asparagus. Look at this tall, skinny asparagus. And there it is. It didn't break off. Nope. Now, I'll show you the one thing that does get affected by strong winds. And this actually happened day before, like a couple days ago. This wasn't from last night. This must have been from last night. But, onions are hollow inside. So, it's kind of a given that they're going to be affected by the wind. These were all standing straight up, just like these here. These were all standing straight up a few days ago. And like I said, it was like a wind like 3 or so days ago. And I may have some strawberries I need to pick. Yay! Alright, but let's walk back over to the peas. I need to remember to get rid of that. That was supposed to be a self-watering planter last year, and it didn't work because there's a hole in the bucket, dear Eliza. Okay, there's a hole in the bottom of that cooler. It didn't hold water. Alright, so, well, there's these peas first, which are starting to, I just saw flower. They have little buds, yes. So these peas I planted a little bit later, so they're not quite flowering yet, but look at them. They're still hanging onto the trellis. They haven't been ripped down. This is all there was. I had like 3 or 4, I think 4 or 5 extra peas, and a couple of them died. But these are doing fine. So yeah, this is a broccoli, and this is tall and skinny, so that was going to, inevitable that would be affected by the wind. But the peas are great. But this is where this year I have most of the peas. And if this works out, it's been working. I had something chew off the bottom of a couple of the stems here, but otherwise they're doing great. Well, look at them. Look. I lost sleep worrying about these peas. This looks like it may have, I don't know, yeah, this is floppy and weak, so this may have been attached here and been ripped off. But look, ladies and gentlemen, plants are so resilient. Now, This isn't always the case when we have gale-force winds during a thunderstorm. When we lived in Plano, there was one year where I had cucumbers growing just like vertically. That's why, when I show you my garden later, I don't have cucumbers growing straight up anymore. I had cucumbers growing straight up, and we had a really strong wind one night, and literally broke. I can't remember if it grew back or not, but it broke a good deal. I mean, it was like at least in half. And I lost a lot of fruit because of that. So it just depends on the plant and how you're growing it. But in general, folks, you let plants get established and grow the way they're supposed to. Peas are supposed to grow up. They're supposed to. That's what they want to do. They want to climb up. That's their nature. Cucumbers will climb up. But, they just as soon crawl around on the ground and just kind of grow up and kind of gently slope over bushes and stuff like that. So that's not necessarily their natural behavior. This is the natural behavior for peas. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and a really strong wind couldn't keep them out. And couldn't keep them down or break them down or whatever, rip them apart like I was afraid of. So I'm saying all that to just encourage you, the next time you've got lots of things growing in the garden and maybe they've gotten tall and you're worried about a strong wind, a thunderstorm, hail is not nice, especially when they get bigger than pea size. Hail's a real concern. But as far as wind, don't be like me and lose sleep. Plants are resilient. That's your gardening tip for today, I guess. Don't worry about your plants. Put them in, take care of them, let nature take its course. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you for the next video. In the meantime, take care, be well, and if you started your spring garden, happy gardening.